Okay. Today we're going to learn the halacha. If a yid allowed to buy a church and convert it to whatever he wants to do it, a kindergarten, a building, a shul, you're allowed to buy the church. So l'chayra, what would be the problem? Because people hold that the common knowledge is a base of Avodah Zarah. So how could you buy something that was used for Avodah Zarah? Maybe it's osur b'chlal to have anything to do with that. So there's a Mishnah in the Maseches Avodah Zarah, Daf Mem Zayin Amud Beis. The Mishnah says like this: Shloisha batim hem. There's three types of homes. Bais shebeno mitchilo la'avodas kochavim. Areza osur. If they bought the house to do avodas kochavim, meaning they wanted to worship the house, not that they want to worship inside the house. Whatever, it's all kind of mishagas the head, and some people worship the stones, the house. So they build the house l'chatchila to worship the house. That would be also really to have to do nothing to do because of the Zorah. Now, if there was a regular home, they didn't build it to worship the house. Then they bought a house, a regular house. They didn't build it for Avodah Zorah. But then Siddur v'Kira l'Avodas Kochavim v'Chidash. Then they went and they said, you know what, we're going to paint it for the sake of the Zorah. Then we're going to worship what we add to it, the Chidush, the painting of the house and whatever. They renew the house for the Avodah Zorah. Then it says Noitel Masha Chidash. So you could scrape all the paint and all the additions they made for the Avodah Zarah, the one they wanted, and then it would be mutter. Now, if the whole thing was ready, the just hichnis lesoicha avodas kochavim, they brought it in. They worship not the house, they worship the Avodah Zarah. The house became meshamsha Avodah Zarah, which is also we're not allowed to use meshamsha. It's like a shamash for the Avodah Zarah. It was enhancing the Avodah Zarah over there. It says, if you take out the Avodah Zarah from there, the house is mutter. It's nothing to do with Avodah Zarah. So Rashi brings over there, he didn't have anything in mind to worship the house. Also, it wasn't even tashmish Avodah Zarah. Why? He brought some temporarily Avodah Zarah. Mashma, if it became a permanent home of Avodah Zarah, it's also mitzvah tashmish Avodah Zarah. Oh, so Lamaisa. So far, if we look just at this Mishnah, Mashma l'choyre, you cannot buy this house, even though the house himself was not worshipped for the Avodah Zarah, but it became tashmish of Avodah Zarah. You cannot buy it. It's like you cannot buy tashmish of Avodah Zarah also, and that's how it brought in the beginning of Hilchas in Yeredel, Kufla Metes, Halacha of Avodas Kochavim. It says over there. Ha'elil asura ba'ano, Avodah Zarah is osur ba'ano. He v'tashmisheya v'noya v'tikruvta. Anything has to do with that tashmish, meaning it's enhancing to do the Avodah Zarah, like this home, it's osur. So the halacha is like this. It's this specific halacha. It's brought in Kuf Mem Hey, yeah, and Kuf Mem Hey, yeah. It's like this. Here's what it says over here. I'm reading from the Torah. If you brought into the house, you were not worshipping the house, Avodah Zarah to the house, then you took it out, mutar. Pirish Rashi, meaning the whole heter, because the whole thing was just temporary. When you took it out, since it's not a home for Avodah Zarah, it was just temporarily. So if you took it, even you want to bring it back later, right now the home is not, so in that home, right now, even we're not buying it. Let's say you're renting the house, you're staying there, it's not home of Avodah Zarah. But if you made the house a permanent place, talking about the church as a permanent place for worshipping over there, it's not enough if you took all the getchkes out of there. If you took it just there is a bittul to the Meshamsha Avodah Zarah. There's a bittul. Why? How? When you completely take it out, never to bring it back over there. That if the goy himself he could mavatal Avodah Zarah, and if he took it out of there, he's his gadgets, and not he's selling the building. It's never going to get returned over there. That helps. So that's what the Beis Yosef adds one thing over here. There's a difference who took it out, the goy or a Jew. That means the only time the goy could mavatal this house from him b'shamsha Avodah Zarah when he took it completely, meaning again by the selling the church, you're taking completely everything out of there. You're just selling the building. You mavatal the place of Avodah Zarah. The davar poshut be'enai. That's the Beis Yosef says the hodamahane boitzah nashal lachnisoy. If you take it out, whatever the accountant of that home, not to bring it ever back. Hainu boitzah akum. Aval boitzah so lamahania. According to this, when you buy the place, one thing you have to be careful with, to say to goy, I want an empty building, take everything out, because a yid cannot mevatel the Avodah Zarah. That's the pashtus lechoira. So all you have left over here, if you could buy a house of because nobody today worshiping the building. If they have any worship, they worship something in the building. They bring their gadgets over there. So if they take it out, they say, "Tell them I want to take everything out." The house become mutter because they were mevatel their avodah zarah. However, I just want to say there is another Indian today that makes it a little bit halachically easier. The Indian of the Indian of avodah zarah, we take it for granted. We think everything, all the Indians are avodah zarah, all the Christians are avodah zarah. It's not so poshut at all. In Hilchas in Aracham Kuf Nun Vav, over there they talk about if you're allowed to do shutfus with the goy, what's the problem? Because you might have to put him under an oath, and he's going to give the oath on his idol avodah zarah. So you machshel him, you make him to say to swear on his avodah zarah. So the Ramo says over there, v'yesh mekilin v'asiyas shutfus ima'akum. Today there's a kula to make a business with a goy. B'zman hazeh mishum she'en ha'akum b'zman hazeh nishboim ba'avodah acheres. They don't give an oath in idols. They don't do that today. V'avagad maskirin ha'avodah acheres, even though they mention some kind of idols. They believe in one God, in Oiseh Shamayim v'Oret. Ela shemishatfim, to be exact, shemishatfim shem Shamayim. But the v'dober acher, they believe in that. Most of Christians today, they believe there's Hashem Echad. They believe in Hashem Echad. They believe there's a shituf over there. They believe he's a manager. He is like close to Hashem, but they don't think he's the creator. No, there's a Hashem Echad, one creator, and he's the Meshat of his name. And it says over there, why? That's not a problem. You're going to make a business with him. He's going to give you an oath with the Shem Hashem, and he's what he believes in. He says, many Rishonim hold, not everybody. He mentioned the Rishonim, the Ran, Rabbi Yerucham, Tosfos, that they hold that a goy is not part of Sheva Mitzvahs Nanoyach. He is not to do idol worshipping, but he is allowed to believe in God and shutuf to the God, manager, a partner with the God. We're not allowed to believe even a shutuf. For us, it's avodah zarah. By them, it's allowed to. If he's going to give an oath on the name of Hashem and he's avodah zarah, that's a shutuf and that's mutar. So according to this, since most people today, the way the Ramo brings la halacha, most of the goyim today are not oivda avodah zarah. They're only meshatef avodah zarah with Hashem. The whole place b'chalal is not. All the gemaras of Masechas avodah zarah, all the restrictions, what you could do business with them, what you could buy, you could sell, it's only a place of avodah zarah. And even then we said, if they sell you an empty building, they never worship the building, it's not avodah zarah, you're allowed to buy it. And how much more I'm saying, if today b'chalal they were to begin with, it was not a base avodah zarah, it was a mokim, they did shituf over there. Memele, those halachas, allowed this. So according to this, halacha l'maisa would be no problem with buying a building from a church. Do whatever you want with it, as long as the best thing to be tell them empty the building. I don't want anything else over there. Just the walls. The mele wherever they took out the mevatel, all that over there is mevatel. It's not coming back. They're selling it. So mele would be no problem whatsoever to buy a church.